Tonight, rolling out a vaccine. Plans are well underway across the region, what it could look like in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Plus, standing by her actions, Michigan's governor says her orders are working as she updates the state on the status of the pandemic. And making a difference, how a big donation is connecting the homeless population with resources they need.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. With Wisconsin in the hot seat for high COVID-19 cases, Governor Tony Evers is asking for help. He's hoping for more money to help vaccine preparation and distribution. Winnie Dortch has tonight's top story.
With 4,618 new COVID cases, Governor Evers is pleading to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Resources that Wisconsin gets the first vaccine shipments.
And in quantities large enough to vaccinate all 450,000 members of our healthcare workforce.
It's a tier system, so frontline healthcare workers will get the dosage first and then others who are at a high risk.
We do anticipate, should one or both of the applications be approved, that we will receive a small allocation of doses before the end of the year.
State officials say they are still ironing out a timeline for when all healthcare workers will get the vaccine.
It's entirely dependent, for starters, on when you can first put vaccines in arms based on when an application is approved and vaccine arrives in the state of Wisconsin.
State health officials say despite the demand for dosages, the state of Wisconsin must have money to fund programs for vaccine groundwork.
We will need an additional $466 million. That estimation includes $10 million for vaccine infrastructure readiness and $2 million for public health awareness and vaccine education programs. We have a lot of work to do, and we need a lot of resources and support to be able to do it.
State officials say they don't expect the vaccine will be approved for children. More clinical testing must be done. Meanwhile, Michigan's governor is updating Michiganders on her efforts to slow the spread of the coronavirus. During a news conference today, Governor Whitmer said she believes the data clearly shows the actions her administration has taken has protected high-risk populations from the virus. The governor said the progress is promising, but people need to continue working to protect everyone from the spread of COVID-19.
We don't need an epidemic order to know what the right thing to do is. We just need to do it. Because the science is settled. Wearing a face mask and keeping at least 6 feet of distance from others are the greatest tools that we have to combat the spread of this virus.
In Michigan, more than 9,000 residents have died from the virus. Twin Ports hospitals are several months into preparations to distribute COVID-19 vaccines, but are still waiting on the FDA to give their final approval. Essentia Health and St. Luke's have been preparing for shipment and distribution. Preparations include educating providers and staff on how to administer the vaccine. They must also ensure there is proper storage of the different vaccine options.
They all have different storage requirements. We're prepared to store even at the ultra cold freezer temperatures. And then we'll work on logistics internally to look at how we distribute from there.
Pfizer and Moderna vaccines both require 2 doses. Hospitals are working on logistics through their healthcare systems to ensure everyone gets the appropriate doses. A COVID outbreak inside Moose Lake's Minnesota sex offender program has turned deadly. According to the state, a client in the facility has died of the coronavirus. It's the first COVID-related death among clients or staff at either of the state's 2 sex offenders programs. There's a startling trend in Minnesota as the pandemic enters its 9th month. Overdose deaths are up 31% over the first 6 months of the year. State health officials report 490 deaths between January and June of this year, compared to 373 for the same time period last year. The number began to sharply increase in March. About 4 of every 5 overdose deaths is attributed to synthetic opioids. Data for the second half of the year won't be finalized until 2021. And Dave's here for a quick look at the weather. Hey, Dave, pretty nice day out there.
You know, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
A little bit on the cloudy side, and here in the Twin Ports, a bit on the windy side. And one might think, if you were a Twin Ports resident, that the rest of the region followed suit, but now eyeing up regional winds. No, it's really only up over the hill in Duluth where we're hitting 15 miles per hour. Places like Big Fork are calm. Hayward's there as well. Everybody else in between. So bottom line is, not really any worry about a wind chill factor here tonight. In fact, it has been getting a little bit warmer this morning. The warm temperatures conquered the morning lows, and we were Not as cold as we were the other day, and the daytime high's been about 10 degrees warmer than normal. And you know, I think that's probably going to happen again tomorrow. High pressure dominating the northern U.S. and almost every place out west as well. In between two highs, we have a small trough of lower pressure being pushed up, and that's creating the clouds that we saw today. And those clouds are keeping things a little bit warmer, like we mentioned. So our day planner for Friday says we'll start at about 22 above here in Duluth, and we should have a partly cloudy sky all day long. That's a split between the two highs flanking our region and the trough wedging up in between. The finish in the day there of 31 degrees is about 5 degrees warmer than normal. And frankly, I think we're going to stay dry and a little bit warm for another week. Any hopes for snow? I'll let you know with the 7-day forecast in a couple more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Individuals and families experiencing homelessness in St. Louis County has jumped 18% since last year. That means more people turning to local resources than ever before. CBS 3's Natalie Grant explains how a big donation is helping one Duluth organization make sure everyone gets the help they need, especially during the pandemic.
5 years ago, the Duluth Harbor Mission started their journey of helping those on the west end of Duluth. What started as hot meals and red wagons now sits on West 3rd Street, offering hundreds a place to turn.
People in need, desperate situations, they could come into Duluth Harbor Mission and we can help them with immediate basic needs.
But with the cold setting in, effects of the pandemic are starting to hinder their work, going from a lobby full of conversations to service out a door, something Executive Director Veronica Curlio says has been a challenge.
The homeless population are not even able to go into buildings at this time to warm up, to rest. And it's breaking our hearts because we're used to having folks come in and sitting with them and talking about them and seeing what other needs they might have.
Needs that still need to be met, but now with added financial support. AT&T has donated $10,000 to Harbor House Mission, going towards various costs to help care for those in need.
Oh, it was pretty neat. They contacted us and basically said, we'd like to do this. We'd like to extend a helping hand up into the Duluth area.
A helping hand that mission volunteers like John Schulte say make a big impact.
A lot of these people are living on the streets. You know, they don't have a warm place to stay. They're in a tent.
Continuing to make a difference to help those who need it the most.
Well, they feel better after they leave here. They really do.
Despite this grant, Duluth Harbor Mission is still in need of community support. If you would like to donate, you can stop by Monday through Saturday. They say they're in desperate need of gloves and hats. The deadline to draw on COVID-19 housing assistance is drawing closer, and Minnesota's governor is urging people in need to take action. You have until Monday, December 7th to request help. Earlier this year, the state allocated nearly $200 million to help COVID-impacted Minnesotans with rent, utilities, and more. Only about $70 million has been used. If you're behind on your payments, you could be eligible to some of that money. The state's lieutenant governor says helping struggling Minnesotans is their priority.
Working to keep people housed and support people experiencing homelessness has been a cornerstone of our pandemic response because housing is a public health issue and homelessness is a public health issue.
You can apply for assistance by calling 211. We also have information on how to fill out the application on our website, cbs3duluth.com. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, how one local distillery plans to keep outdoor dining throughout the winter.
Record high temp today, 55 degrees from 1962. Our 36 was 10 degrees warmer than normal, but not quite enough for a record. And that's the way the rest of the week will roll. We'll be about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal each day for the high and for the low, with really no hope for any snow. We'll show you the 7-day forecast, though, just to prove the point, coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS 3.
Hey, no cell phones at the table. But it's Grandma. Hi, Mom.
Slumberland's biggest Thanksgiving sale in 3 years is held over. You'll get an additional 25% off our already low prices at Slumberland.
Fleet
Farm's free gift card event is going on now. Hurry in. These offers are too good to be true. Spend $120 on Carhartt for the family. Get a $20 Fleet Farm gift card. Get a $10 gift card when you buy select size bags of Science Diet dog or cat food. And buy 2 cans of whole cashews or deluxe mixed nuts. Get a $10 gift card. Don't miss these and more during the free gift card event. Hurry in today. Fleet Farm. We've got you covered.
Your hands are cold, your feet are cold, you are freezing. Mother Nature is ready to bring you winter. Are you ready? Northwest Outlet is. It's the Northland's winter family clothing headquarters for men, women, and children. Northwest Outlet's massive inventory of the North Face, Columbia, and Carhartt with all the latest styles, colors, and sizes from 6 months to 5X is in. Long underwear, hats, gloves, mitts, snowsuits, pants, jackets, smart wool, and darn tough socks, and winter boots for men, women, and kids are in all sizes. Northwest Outlet, your family's winter headquarters. Merry Christmas from Northwest Outlet.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our #1 selling tractors are built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota subcompact or compact tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months and save $1,100 plus no payments for 90 days. See your local Kubota dealer today.
No one serves you better than Lulich Implement.
What do you get when you add care from Essentia Health and coverage from UCare? Essentia Care, now available for a more affordable price. Essentia Care's Medicare Advantage plans have premiums that start at $0 per month in select counties. You'll be able to see your Essentia Health provider at our 15 hospitals and 71 clinics. Plus, Essentia Care plans allow you the freedom to see any provider who accepts Medicare. Compare and shop plans at ucare.org/EssentiaCare.
With all this family fun time, you need a good night's sleep. Come to Slumberland's huge Thanksgiving mattress sale and get an extra 25% off our already low prices. Get this Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress for just $3.99, only at Slumberland.
CBS3 weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Yeah. Well, one could argue today's mixture of a little bit of high pressure battling a trough of lower pressure made the perfect mixture indeed of a little bit of blue sky and a little bit of cloud, which around sunset time made for beautiful pictures. Earlier tonight we looked at one from Jean Duluth Road in here in Duluth, and now here's the sunset tonight in Ely on Sheridan Street, eyeing up the old State Theater. Last movie I saw there was Revenge of the Nerds in 1984. And this nerd will tell you more about the weather in just a little bit, but I also have to mention that this picture comes courtesy of Cecilia Rolando, one of Ely's more well-known artists. Now, let's take a look at a well-known airport in Duluth and eye up the current conditions there. It's 31 right now. Relative humidity is 67%. And the wind is still northwesterly, 15 miles per hour. But as we saw just a couple minutes ago, really over the hill in Duluth and near Hermantown is the only place winds are getting that gusty. Everybody else has lesser winds going on. Pressure, greater pressure than it has been for a while because of persistent high pressure cells, 29.85 inches of mercury. Now we fire up the current regional temperatures, and on the Upper Peninsula we're in the lower 30s. In Wisconsin we're going from 30 in Hayward to 35 in Ashland to 34 or 37 towards Bayfield and La Pointe, 33 in Superior, 32 towards Cloquet and Moose Lake. Lower to mid-30s up the North Shore, and then the Iron Range numbers are in the lower 30s and even upper 20s as well, setting us up for morning lows tomorrow, going to the teens, upper teens in inland Minnesota to pretty much the lower 20s for the rest of our region. A little bit warmer than normal, just like today's highs were, and tomorrow's highs will be. It's going to be a persistent trend here. So today, like we mentioned, we've got higher pressure to the northwest, another cell to the southeast, and again with the sinking motion of air on either side, the air's got to give someplace else and go up again, and that happened in a narrow stripe right through the middle of our region. A trough of lower pressure brewed up, and we got some clouds and a couple of little snow sprinkles towards the snow belt. That could continue tonight through early tomorrow morning before higher pressure reasserts itself and acts as a block, keeping any low pressure system away at least for the next 7 days. 7-day forecast shows, frankly, 0 snow chances here in our neck of the woods. Tonight in Minnesota's woods, low temps will go from 18 to 27, and swinging over to the forests in Wisconsin and Michigan, well, 20 to 25 there, and it should be dry in Wisconsin, though the UP might still have that slight chance for a couple of flurries. And looking at tomorrow, partly sunny for Wisconsin and Michigan. High temps 30 to 35, the normal's 27, so warmer than normal there. And in Minnesota, even 28 to 32 is warmer than normal with a partly cloudy sky. And because of the dominance of high-pressure systems, it'll be more sunny than anything else for the week ahead, but it'll also be more dry than anything else for the week ahead. High temps, I think they'll go about 30 to even 39 degrees. Wednesday will be the warmest. Overnight lows, 18 to 27. Both counts warmer than normal, drier than normal, Tony. Maybe next week a little normal December-style weather will start to come back towards us.
All right, thanks, Dave. For months, outdoor dining has been the saving grace for businesses trying to safely serve their customers during the pandemic. Now, as winter sets in, many say outdoor seating is not an option. But as CBS 3's Kendall Jarbo shows us, one distillery in Bayfield is determined to make it work.
We've got bourbon, rye whiskey, wheat whiskey.
Copper Crow Distillery owners Curtis and Linda Bosney are used to being trailblazers.
My wife and I are both members of the Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior Chippewa Indians. We are the first native-owned distillery in the United States.
After repeal of a federal law, Copper Crow became the first Native American-owned distillery in the area in 2018. In the spring, they offered curbside pickup, but it wasn't enough to make ends meet.
I think more of the issue with the supply chain being uninterrupted was just the fact that we didn't have the necessary cash flow to be able to purchase a lot of the raw materials. So we went into the spring with very little cash reserves.
Sales didn't turn around until they added an outdoor patio.
It was a pretty interesting summer. And we're going into an even more interesting winter because we'll still be outdoors. Outside, we'll have hot drinks for the customers to enjoy. We've got the fire pits to keep them warm, but it'll be a challenge.
As winter sets in, the Bosnies are finding new ways to keep people safe while also keeping them warm.
It's a learning curve, every day. Something different, something new.
By creating a warm drink menu and adding socially distanced fire pits, they're doing what they can to continue serving the community.
So far, the community has been very supportive. A lot of folks that are local have been coming out, and we're so thankful for that.
Keeping spirits alive as they adapt to another season of the pandemic.
While drinks are only served on the patio, customers can head inside to shop for Copper Crow Distillery merchandise. The owners just ask you to put on a mask before heading inside. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, a first-hand account of an emergency plane landing on a busy road near the Twin Cities.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Essentia Health orthopedic surgeon Jefferson Davis talks about treating troublesome feet and ankles, which could involve using a joint or complete reconstruction.
Obviously, we walk every day, and we're on our feet most of the days, most of us are, and a lot of these people have disabling pain that they just can't deal with. Our bodies aren't made to last forever. They wear out, tendons wear out, the tendons that hold up our arches wear out, our feet get flat, some with time. People have sporting injuries, twist their ankle, rupture their ligaments. Those sometimes need to be reconstructed. I see quite a few people for flat foot, progressive flat, their arch has fallen, they're having increasing pain. I see a lot of people for what they call Haglund's deformity, or a bump on their heel that's rubbing on their Achilles tendon and causing a lot of pain in their heel. I also see a lot of people for ligament instability of their ankle.
Dr. Davis says technology has made the procedures he performs much more precise.
They are computer guided in that we take a CT of the ankle before we do the ankle replacement. We send it away and they make specialized jigs that just fit onto that person's anatomy, and that enables us to put pins in exact places, take those jigs off and put on the regular cutting blocks that we cut the bone with, and it cuts it very precisely. It's better than anything when you have a patient that's happy and has had a good result, that there's no replacement for that. So yeah, that's why I do this.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentialhealth.org/medical insight.
It's the season for streaming and the perfect time to power up all your devices with Extreme Internet. Call today and save with prices as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Go dashing through your shows with amazing speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Powerful in-home Wi-Fi and 99.99% network reliability. Enjoy the gift of high-speed entertainment for as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Dial 844-EXTREME2. Hurry, offer ends December 21st.
Live, local, CBS3.
Dominate any terrain on a Polaris snowmobile from Duluth Lawn and Sports.
When you needed results, we gave them to you. When you wanted accurate information in real time, we had it. Everything from the presidential election right down to your neighborhood. CBS3 was there. Live, local, CBS3, your station for Campaign 2020. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS3.
A single-engine plane crash-landed Wednesday night on Interstate 35W near the Twin Cities. The Belanca Viking made an emergency landing just north of Minneapolis at about 9:15 p.m., crashing into an SUV on the interstate in the process. Officials say nobody was hurt, thankfully. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield sat down with the woman who watched it all unfold.
For a moment, it looked like a runway, but this is a highway. The highway Janelle Harwell was driving on.
As I got closer and closer, I realized that it was an airplane that actually crashed into a vehicle, and I slammed on my brakes with both feet and stopped in time, thank God.
This is the scene she nearly slammed into. A plane landed on 35W, clipping an SUV from behind. She called for help.
When I called 911 and she goes, "I'm sorry, you said what?" I said an airplane is crashed into a vehicle on the highway. And she said, "Ma'am, an airplane?" And I said, "Yes."
She could see the driver of the SUV was safe but shaken, but there was no movement from the plane.
I got out and walked forward maybe five feet or so, and I kept yelling, "Are you guys okay? Does anybody need help?" And then the airplane door opened, and the woman and the man came out, and I literally was just flooded with relief. Like, just so glad that they got out of that and was walking away.
The pair got out of the plane and into her car to stay warm. The pilot, Craig Gifford, is a seasoned aviator. He's part of an international aerobatic flight team.
He said, "Yeah, we got up in the air and my engines just failed. My engine completely failed on me. And I had to go down wherever it was safest to go down." He tried so hard not to hit the woman in the SUV. Like, that was his main thing, was trying to avoid a car. And so when he hit her, he was pretty distraught because he just didn't want to hurt anybody.
And although they were all stunned, they were all safe.
Like, the bottom of his plane was destroyed. The front was pretty destroyed. The SUV, I'm sure, is totaled. And to think that 3 people walked away from that without a scratch on them is just like someone was sitting on their shoulder last night.
The FAA is still investigating, but it appears the pilot did everything correctly during that landing. He found a straight stretch of road and tried to land with the direction of traffic. Still ahead in sports, Minnesota United hoping to advance to their first ever Western Conference Finals. Kelly's breaking down the game coming up.
Live, local, CBS3.
Northwest Outlet knows Northland winters can be a great time of the year to enjoy the outdoors, even when you have to work outdoors. Nothing ruins it faster than cold or frozen feet. Problem solved when you shop Northwest Outlet for winter footwear. They have only brand names that are tested for Northland winters, like Kamek, Baffin, Keen, Sorrel, Lacrosse, Merrill, Columbia, Boggs, Rocky, and Carhartt, including a huge selection of steel toes available. Top it off with Smart Wool or Darn Tough socks for maximum comfort. Remember Northwest Outlet for long underwear. Your winter headquarters. Happy holidays, everyone.
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help. From value-priced softeners to the world's best and even salt-free. No one has more solutions than Culligan to customize the best filtration for your home. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
if you've never gotten a flu shot, 2020 is the year to do so. Memorial Medical Center, your local health departments, and area tribes are encouraging you to get a seasonal flu shot to protect yourself and others. A seasonal flu shot is the best defense against flu, especially when COVID-19 is still a risk.
My wife had a tough week at work and she needed a break. I stopped by Quick Trip and they say, I want to surprise my wife with a special dinner. And the Quick Trip lady was like, our take-home meals are freshly made and absolutely delicious. I recommend the fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. And I'm like, sign me up. Upon arriving home, my wife says, wow, what's the occasion? And I'm like, just you. And she's like, looks like someone's getting dessert. Bless you, Quick Trip.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northlands still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Baki, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Baki. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS3. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association. Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Well, something had to give down in Kansas City tonight. Minnesota United has lost their last 6 matchups down there. For some reason, unable to break through at Children's Mercy Park. But they're as hot as ever right now, and they're now unbeaten in their last 9 matches. All that said, Minnesota and Kansas City were also playing for a spot in the MLS Conference Finals tonight. Bulldog fans, where have we seen this before? Some good chances early, but Minnesota's goaltender holding strong. Dane St. Clair robs KC on the goal line to keep it scoreless. And then this one does a complete 180. 10 minutes later, hot boy Kevin Molino, don't tell the Loons that they're underdogs because they don't care. This one escalated pretty quickly from there. Straight out of a Home Alone movie because Kevin, it's Molino again. Loons take a 2-0 lead, and when it rains, it pours. Just 4 minutes after that, Buckeye Disbasi buries the header off the corner, and Minnesota United wins their first ever game in Kansas City, advances to their first ever Western Conference Finals. That's something we don't get to say a lot in Minnesota. They will take on Seattle on Monday. Well, sadly, due to the pandemic, USA Curling has decided to postpone the 2021 National Championships that were originally scheduled for this February. The 2020 National Championship teams that include Team Schuster, Team Peterson, and Team Peterson Polo will now all represent the U.S. at the men's, women's, and mixed doubles world championships, respectively. The women's tournament will be in Switzerland in March, and the men's in Canada in April. Mixed doubles will be held in Europe in April. Now, with last year's cancellation of the World Championships, this year will have a lot at stake. The top 6 teams at the 2021 World Championships will qualify their country to the 2022 Olympic Games in Beijing. With 4 weeks to go into their season opener, the St. Scholastica men's hockey team hasn't had a full team practice since the first week of November. With the lack of consistent testing and the Minnesota Department of Health's ruling, the team has stayed prepared by hosting film sessions virtually. But it isn't always about the X's and the O's. As new head coach Kevin Moore has taken a more mental approach. Being positive and being present has been his main teaching points. He says regardless of having practice or not, he is confident that his team will be ready to play.
Will it be pretty? Will it be as smooth as we'd like? No. But the mentality we're cultivating has nothing to do with timelines. And I think our guys have embraced that. And because of that, for me personally, I'm hopeful we're going to start on time. And guess what? If we don't, then we'll take January 1st as it comes. We'll take January 2nd as it comes. And I think our guys will be ready for that because that's what they've been doing since October.
The Saints will open if things go as planned at Lawrence University on New Year's Day. Well, they sure made it interesting, but the Bulldog men's hockey team is off to a 2-0 start in the NCHC pod after another thrilling win last night over Denver, thanks to their power play, which is now converting at a staggering 44% through 2 games, including 4 third-period goals. And, of course, their sophomore goaltender, Ryan Fanti, who kept UMD in the game and turned away a heavy barrage of Denver shots, especially in the second period, when he was peppered with 18 Pioneer chances. In a goaltending competition that was wide open coming into the season, Fanti may have taken a step forward.
No, he was shooting the puck well, and he did play with a lot of poise and calmness. I thought our team wasn't playing with that calmness, like we need to, and he was, thank God. But again, it's a great sign. It's something I talked about last night. Hopefully the Omaha game, his first start, getting that under his belt and winning, is a good confidence builder for him. This should be another one.
Compared to Omaha, they both got pucks to the net, but I found Denver was a little bit more patient, especially just not, being too antsy and throwing at the puck. They were definitely taking that extra second to find the guy in the slot. But it's big, especially to come back in that third. So overall, good game.
The Bulldogs are back in action this Sunday against Miami of Ohio. And that's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
Change the future of medicine from the convenience of home. Join the All of Us research program to help improve health research and speed up medical breakthroughs. Visit essentialhealth.org/allofus to learn more.
Medicare isn't everyone's favorite thing to shop for, but with UCare, it might be worth a browse because right now, UCare is offering a $0 premium plan statewide. And unlike original Medicare, you also get prescription drugs, doctor visits, dental, hearing, and glasses. Fire off any questions to a decomplicator today. Hey, it's what we're here for. UCare, people-powered health plans.
I'm Steve Little with Bath Planet. Safety is our top priority, so our workers are following all CDC guidelines to ensure the safety of both our customers and employees. Get your dream bathroom for $0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments till 2022. All of our products are backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval and come with a lifetime warranty. For a free estimate, call us today or go online to book your appointment. Bath Planet, out of this world service, down to earth price.
I don't think any other year is ever going to be like 2020. I never thought that I would go through something like this ever in my life. This pandemic's not an isolated thing to our country or to our state or to our city. This is something that's affecting the world. And that just shows really how interconnected we all are. And I think that's why news is so important, because news is kind of like that lifeline to kind of bring that information out and bring us all together.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers get paid training to keep the power flowing, engines running, and supplies moving. Army National Guard soldiers are learning skills that can set them up for success with companies looking to hire the best.
The Army National Guard basically built my resume for me.
Find out how you can learn a trade and serve part-time for your community and country by visiting nationalguard.com.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19, and at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
Men's Wardrobe by Mainstream Fashions for Men. The annual Gift Givers sale is going on now through December 31st. Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
Well, the 2 largest planets in our solar system are getting closer than they have been since the Middle Ages. On the night of December 21st, Jupiter and Saturn will appear so closely aligned in the sky that they will look like a double planet. Now, to see the phenomenon, look low in the western sky for about an hour after sunset each evening between December 16th and Christmas. According to NASA, while the 2 planets may appear close, they are still hundreds of millions of miles apart. Dave, I think I read today the last time that happened was somewhere around 1200. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I wondered.
Grade back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to look for in the sky, indeed. An hour
after sunset. They're not a whole hour standing there looking for it. Let's look for the 7-day forecast here. Looks to be more sunny than not for the week ahead. High temps in the 30s, low temp near 20s, and a distinct lack of snow.
Thanks for joining us tonight.